welcome Mike Birbiglia. And I was so mad. In my head, I was like, you didn't even try. You just said B and then whatever you could think of. And you made me Polish. That's a really specific choice, you know?
Welcome to my first time. My name is Michael Showalter, and I will be your host tonight. Now, this show is called My First Time, and I called it that because I wanted to do a show where comedians could talk about their first experiences doing stand-up and perform some of their first jokes. Now, doing comedy for the first time for me was very similar to losing my virginity. It was awkward, uncomfortable, but I did get a lot of laughs. Just not when I was doing comedy. When I was a freshman in college, I was part of a sketch ensemble called the New Group, which later became known as the State. Yes. The first thing we ever did was a video about how audience should behave at a sketch show. You may recognize my co-star, Michael Ian Black, or, as he was known then, Michael Schwartz, before he changed his name because he's a self-hating Jew. Now, that was the same year that I first did stand-up. I entered a comedy contest on a bet, and I was terrified. I'd never done stand-up before, so I made up a stage name, Eddie English. And I wore this little driver's cap. I have no idea what the cap was supposed to signify, other than that I might have been in a high school production of Oliver. Mostly, though, I did bad impressions. For instance, I did an impression of John Travolta from the TV movie The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, which went something like this. Hey, I'm a boy, and I'm trapped inside this bubble. Did I win the contest? No. But did I come in second? No. But did I come in third? No. Were there only 4 competitors? Yeah. But it was a thrilling and terrifying feeling, and I caught the bug for stand-up that night. I drew from those experiences for the very next time I did stand-up 12 years later. And I'll never forget what the first time was like for me. Tonight, you're gonna hear the first-time comedy experiences of 3 stand-ups, all of whom are successful now, but started exactly the way I did, having sex in the back of a minivan with Becky Scalinari. My first guest has been on Conan, Letterman, has 2 specials on Comedy Central. He's also released 2 comedy albums, 2 Drink Mike, and my secret public journal live. Please welcome Mike Birbiglia.
Keep it going for Eddie English, everybody. That was Eddie English. So I was going to tell you about my first time, but I can't remember it. Because my first time, it was kind of like undergoing anesthesia, where I just kind of came off stage and I was like, how'd it go? And they were like, you're gonna be okay. And then my lips were frozen for a few hours. There are a lot of obstacles for me becoming a comedian. One is that I wasn't like the class clown in school growing up. Class clown was always the mean guy who walks in the room and is like, you're fat, you're gay, I'm out of here, you know. So my first time was in like this competition. It was like a contest, and like I said, I don't remember it, but there's a person at the event that asked me if I would perform 30 minutes of comedy at a place called Fat Tuesdays, which was like a bar in Virginia. And he said, if you do 30 minutes of comedy, they'll give you $50. And I was like thinking to myself, like, I only have like 11 minutes of comedy. And then I was like, yeah. Fat Tuesdays is not a comedy club. It's like it was like a one night a week they'd have comedy night or whatever. But the thing is that like, there's no qualifications for becoming a comedy club. All you have to do is have photos of comedians on the wall. And they don't even have to be comedians. They can just be like 8x10s of like your friends. So I showed up, but I was so impressed. I was like, wow, all of these people on the wall must be geniuses, And I was like, is that guy really the one-man tornado of comedy? I don't know. And so I'm backstage, which is just like the sidewalk of a strip mall. And I'm scared to death because I'm supposed to perform 30 minutes and I have like 11 minutes tops. And the truth is, I only had 6 topics. I had like a note card like this. This isn't the actual one, but this was from like a couple months later. But it had 6 topics, and it said Teletubbies, Cookie Monster, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Stick Insects, not like stick bugs. Some people confuse that. They're like, stick insects. So I'm backstage, and I'm on the sidewalk at a strip mall, and I'm realizing that this isn't gonna go very well. And I say to the comedian who's like the headliner, this guy Greg, I was like, what happens if I run out of material? And he was like, oh, just make fun of people. And I was like, well, whenever I do that, they punch me in the face. And so I'm like on the sidewalk, and I'm like scared to death, and they open the door, and they go, Mike, you're on. And then I swear to God, I turn around, and I throw up on the sidewalk because my body didn't know what else to do. It was like, what are we gonna do? Let's get rid of some food, And I threw up on the sidewalk, and then I walked on stage as I heard them say, please welcome Mike Bahuski. And I was so mad. In my head, I was like, you didn't even try. You just said B and then whatever you could think of. And you made me Polish. That's a really specific choice, So I went on, and I did 4 minutes of comedy. It was awful, and I walk off, and I go to the manager of the bar's office. It's just like a closet, It's like it was just like this little teeny room, and I thought that he might have a gun or like he'd like punch me in the face or whatever, because that happens. And but he didn't. He handed me $50. Yeah, and then he goes, do you have an 8x10 photograph of yourself? Thanks a lot, everybody. That's my first time. Thank you, guys. This is my fatal flaw when I started out in stand-up comedy, is that I would think I would be like TV violence, and I would be like, this is a topic that I'm gonna go out and I'm just gonna riff on
You're
it.
gonna
I'm just
explore,
gonna see
you're
what
gonna
happens.
look at it from every angle.
Yeah. The truth is, all I had was one joke. But I think in my head, I had these fantasies that it was just all gonna take care of itself when I got on stage. That like my point of view would just emanate, and it just never happened. It's so it's pathetic.